Hey guys, so we're gonna do a read tonight. I know another Johnny Depp Amber Heard read, but this is the thing. I got to do it. I got to do it. I got to sit with it because there's some things coming up. And man, I don't know what happened. Like it's kind of funny. I was sitting there and my nose has been feeling sort of like I'll be sitting here doing readings all weekend for people, making my videos, and I'll be like, man, my glasses, one of my nose pads fell off. So I'm like, oh, that's why it's been sore. So I have to go to I got to find an eyeglass place to go put some pads on my glasses tomorrow. I was like, well, no wonder it's been like that. So I have this ache in my nose until I get out and get that done. So luckily I work a half day tomorrow, so that's good. Never mind about that. Okay, so let's get to it. I want you to guys, for anybody interested, check my community tab. I did go ahead and put in there the recent Amber Heard fact versus fiction. I felt that read came out pretty interesting. There was some good stuff. I give you guys a little bit of a different angle, not to, and I'm certainly not justifying anything Amber Heard, but try to give insight maybe why she is the way she is. What this explosive dynamic between these two, some of the things of abuse kind of maybe why they were perpetuated and so forth. I'm not going to go into a big long thing about that. You can check that read if you're interested. But let me talk about this that's in the read. Now, also, and if you want to check this for yourself, I did do a pinned post and a little timestamp that you guys can go to the section where I talk about it. This is where something gets juicy, and this is right before this happens, okay, in the trial, which a lot of people are talking about that this is a big thing. But it's so juicy that it came up in my read, and this is happening. Okay, let's talk about it. Oh man, it's sore. It's sore. It's bothering me. Okay, so one of the things when I get when I'm in the read for that, we get a tower moment that something's going to be a disaster. That's what I told you guys. With something with her testimony, there was going to be, problems there, defeat, tower popping up, all kinds of stuff. Okay, that certain things are something's gonna happen, right? Okay, and also here's where it gets juicy. The Queen of Pentacles, which was not Amber, popped up in the read. Okay, and I talked about that I feel another female kind of coming in the picture here. Okay, and then when we got to the end, when I used the Kipper deck, there was two things: main female, and also a mature female. Okay, now the main female could technically be Amber Heard, and the mature female could be this other person. That's what I kind of started looking at. Maybe that's what spirits have to say. And I'm going to check my phone in a minute because something's going in my mind. But one of the big things that happened is when she was testifying. Okay, she made a comment about there was this kerfuffle with Johnny Depp. Her sister's there. She thought Johnny Depp was going to push her sister off the stairs. This was the first time she ever landed a blow on Johnny Depp, is what she says. Okay, because she thought, and this is where she starts saying, she started thinking in her mind, and she was the first to ever say this, and she said this back in the UK when he was suing the Sun, and that he apparently allegedly pushed Kate Moss, his former girlfriend of the 90s, down the stairs. Now, a few things. One, in that moment, that's when if you have not seen the clip, you go on YouTube, it's all over. His lawyer is sitting there, okay, and Johnny Depp is over to his side, and my cat's going crazy. I had to lock him in the bathroom. I have to lock him in the bathroom to keep him separated from another cat he'll fight with, and it's very dramatic, so I can let her walk around. It's a long story. It's a drama. Okay, no, anyway. So, but as soon as she says the word Kate Moss, okay, he makes this face like, he kind of goes like that, and then he does a fist, and Johnny Depp smiles. Okay, and he's kind of like, now, one of the things, if you guys let me just say real quick, if anybody is wondering why is he always looking down, apparently there are quotes, and you can always Google to check it, that apparently he said way even in 2016 that he will never look Amber Heard in the eyes again. And apparently he reiterated that even recently. So if anybody's kind of wondering why he's doing that, there is probably a couple things. One, maybe so to the jury, he doesn't look like he's trying to intimidate her. Because you know how people, sometimes abusers, for instance, will stare someone down. But he did make a statement he would never look her in the eye. Okay, now here's where it gets juicy. Let me come back. Okay, so the lawyer makes this Kate Moss. Okay, and he makes this, he does his face. I probably look ridiculous, and Johnny Depp smiles. Why? Okay, and apparently, and there's a lot of people talking, even other attorneys. Now, that basically they apparently were not supposed to or were not allowed to talk about past relationships. Okay, but now that she opened the door mentioning her name and an allegation of abuse, the door is open that Kate Moss probably is going to testify, right? And that's what we're going to look at. Is she going to? Okay, because apparently she has said things that he did not abuse her, that he did not, So this would be a very big, huge thing if she came up, testified after Amber Heard said, okay, this, okay, and made this statement, and she says this never happened, and then she goes on, oh, I loved him, this, that. Now, they did have some moments. Apparently, there is a case where I think he got in trouble for, like, trashing a hotel room, maybe when they were out and about. They used to bicker in public, there was things, but no physical abuse allegations. She's never said anything. As a matter of fact, she said that hasn't happened. So she's made statements, and apparently she really loved him. There was a lot. Apparently she cried for a very long time. Even years later, she really loved him. Okay, so there's a whole lot about that, definitely. And of course, they were a cute couple. They were a cute couple, very different. They were the it couple, back then. So, but here's where it's also juicy. Okay, and like I said, check my timestamp. I kind of talk about, ooh, is this the Capricorn, this female that's coming in here? And I said, I feel a female could potentially testify, that is maybe a former partner of his who will help him. And the Queen of Pentacles. Now, I did a little Google, and Kate Moss is a Capricorn, which is an earth sign, which would fit with the Queen of Pentacles. Wow. I love tarot. And see, that's why I love tarot. So all these little hints, clues, and this and that are popping up here of certain things to come, and here it is. Here's the big reveal. So this is pretty fascinating that this happened. Now, there was, though, the word mature female. So I know Kate Moss back then was young, but how old is she now? I do want to look at that and stuff. Hold on one second. How old is Kate Moss? Oops, wait, hold on. Let me try it again. How old is Kate Moss? Oh, so she's 48 years old. Okay, so that fits. I always think of her as a young girl because I'm 54. I remember her as a young. Mature female would fit very nicely with her because 48 would be someone, who would be a little bit older. Amber Heard is around in her 30s, and Kate Moss is quite a bit older than Amber Heard. Okay, so this would fit very well, with that. Like I said, check the timestamp. If you go to Amber Heard Fact versus Fiction, if you've already seen it, you could click it. There was a mature female. Okay, so this could be the Kate Moss. And then the main female, which could, of course, be representative of Amber Heard. These two go head-to-head somehow. Ooh, juicy. I'm so excited. And I'm really excited for Johnny Depp that this could be a major boost for him, especially after all of these horrible allegations. That this could definitely put some weight, as far as her credibility for the stories that she has been telling about him of some abuse. And some of the claims, of course, are a bit bizarre. Some of the things, even the bottle, is kind of bizarre. For any woman, like she said, I wasn't sure what it was. I couldn't feel it. I wasn't sure if it was broken. As sensitive as that is down there, I would know if something was broken or not. And there could be a lot of damage, and would I have to go to the doctor, and things like, there's so many different things there that could be going on. Okay, so it's very juicy, but it's very interesting, the clues there. So that's what I kind of feel is going on. So I do feel that fits very well with Kate Moss being 48 now, as being kind of put there as a mature female. She's a little older now. She's almost 50 years old. So that fits very well. And then also, and she's probably lived a heck of a life, and just the things that she's experienced. And then having, of course, the main field being Amber Heard, and then also showing in the tarot as the Queen of Pentacles being an earth sign. And I said this, there's someone coming up in here, and we talked about that in the tarot read, and then the Tower comes. So this may be one of the, and the coffin even popped up, even when I was doing some of Norman, that this could be a very big nail in the coffin mistake. Okay, for Amber Heard, that when the jury hears this, which that's what I want to see is if they will. Okay, because can we bring her in? Because she would be a major game changer. Already Johnny Depp seems to be doing well, but getting in the mind, the head of the jury is real hard. And remember, they're not supposed to, at least they're not supposed to access certain, outside information or look at what the public is saying. Okay, so I don't know how isolated they're keeping them and things like that. I'm not sure how that's going. But, of course, there's probably got to be some that go on their phone and Google a little, it's got to be happening. So this is what we're going to look at with the Kate Moss. Was this a big mistake here? Okay, is she going to testify? Is she going to be brought in as a witness? Now, also, I do want to look at, does this open another door? Okay, because this is what some attorneys are saying, that potentially, as they were talking about, does this open the door not just for Kate Moss, but even other potential past relationships, which then they could possibly go into Amber Heard's past relationships. Could that old DV arrest of hers pop up, because she has been arrested for domestic violence, which her attorneys trying to do their damnedest to keep out of this trial, which I don't think is very fair, but I know there are certain laws. These things shouldn't be relevant, because I know with certain DV cases, apparently, which I personally don't understand it, I feel if someone has a history of abuse, those things should be brought into the picture. I feel those things should be relevant and brought into the picture to show a pattern. But apparently in a lot of cases, there are certain things that judges may not allow certain things because they say one should not necessarily be reflective of the other. But you know what? It really should be, kind of, because say if somebody's been arrested for, 3 times for domestic violence with 3 other girlfriends, I think those things should be brought up. I personally do. I guess if there is a lot of cases, they can be in some cases, but really it looks like in most DV cases, which can be an uphill battle for anybody, especially in, true cases, that bringing those into the picture can be very difficult. But yeah, let's get to it. I don't want to ramble too long, but yeah, check those if you want. If you've already seen the video and you don't want to watch everything, I've got a timestamp. If you want to just kind of look and be like, oh, that's interesting. But it's so juicy and so interesting that Queen of Pentacles pops up there. And let me just get situated. I've got so much. I had a busy weekend reading clients, and I've got so many cards here. And it's just a mess. It's a mess and stuff. So let's go ahead and put that there. But, so is Kate Moss going to testify? I want to see, will that Queen of Pentacles pop up? Certain things. Will this really, is this the Tower for Amber? Let's see what Spirit has to say. Okay. So got some juicy stuff coming up. So I was very excited to do this. I was like, yeah, this is something I got to look at. But yeah, I was like, let me go back. I remember the Kipper, but I completely forgot, and I don't always remember everything I say and reads. There's just so much going on, especially if I've been talking for almost an hour. And then I'm like, ooh, Queen of Pentacles. And something told me, I'm like, go Google, what's Kate Moss' birthday? And she's Capricorn. And look at that, the Devil, which is the Capricorn sign. Ooh, and a star. She may be the star witness. Check it out. I love it. That's why I like to look sometimes at the back of the cards. That's interesting, though. Capricorn and the star. She could be a star witness. She could be very powerful. So this is interesting. Okay, so much. Yeah, well, this is a very interesting trial. Now, I just want to toss in a couple tidbits here. I know many of us are fascinated with this trial, but don't get distracted. There's so many things going on right now, okay, in the world. Watch my food shortage video. I know that one hasn't got a whole lot of views, but that is a very important one. I did some talk about that I felt maybe the first 6 months aren't as bad, but in 6 months, food shortage could become a real serious thing. So, my thing with that to tell you guys, and I was talking about it in the group today, I start stocking up like canned goods, maybe some boxed things, rice, certain staples, just in case we go through a period where either they're kind of getting scarce or very overpriced. Okay, there's a lot going on. Truckers, okay, there's diesel fuel, but there's a lot of trucks because we need trucks to get the food, right? Their truck parts. If they have a problem with the truck, it breaks down. Well, apparently the Shanghai port in China, where they get a lot of these parts, is kind of shut down, and there's all kinds of things happening. And then obviously the war in Ukraine, with certain things affecting sanctions. There's a lot of stuff that is impacting our truckers getting supplies to us. Okay, there's a whole lot going on. And then if you watch the video, I kind of talk about strange things with, food processing plants, okay, burning down. Various mysterious things, but also picked up in intensity after the war in Ukraine started. Okay, so there's something going on, which is kind of hard. I'm not sure how to explain it. I do not know if it is dark forces or if it is people, if that kind of thing, but it does feel like a dark force when I kind of focus in on it, So, just start stocking up on food. Okay, let me focus. I want to focus on Amber Heard, Kate Moss. What is going to happen? So, the main female and the mature female makes sense now, especially kind of remembering, because I always think of Kate Moss as a young girl, which really, she's, not that much younger than I am. I got to remember these people are pretty much my age. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what's going on. What's going on with Amber Heard, Kate Moss? Are we going to have a testify? Will it be amazing? Let's kind of go ahead and see. Okay, so this is what we got. Knight of Cups. Why is the Knight of Cups popping up in here? Okay, so one of the things, the Knight of Cups, this is kind of what it makes me feel. Now, Johnny Depp does normally show as the Knight of Wands. Okay, he does normally show as the Knight of Wands. But I feel one of the things this kind of makes me feel is they're going to, I do feel this relationship is going to inevitably kind of pop up, and be talked about. And one of the things is even his love for this woman, and everything. I'm not sure if he ever proposed. Knight of Cups can sometimes be a proposal. The 5-year relationship, that doesn't sound very long, but it sounds like it was pretty hot, heavy, and deep. There were certain things going on. They had their challenges and so forth. So one of the things, him in relationships, I do feel his side is going to try to show a kinder, gentler Johnny Depp in relationships. So this would be a very fitting card to be the first one. And then the Eight of Pentacles, I want to pull a clarifier for that and stuff. Okay, so we've got the Eight of Pentacles. I feel one of the things that may even come up, Eight of Pentacles can be work. Notice this is an 8. And then Eight of Cups, of walking away. He did walk away from this relationship. They parted ways and things like that. Could be because of work schedules. There were challenges and things. Those things can come up. Not necessarily a reason of, like, say, abuse or anything. But there could be, conflicts in, work situations, the parting of ways. So let's kind of go ahead and look. But let's see. But how will this impact Amber Heard? Is she going to testify? Let's see what's going on. I do like the Ace of Swords popping up. The truth may come out here. Okay, that can be my symbol of truth and so forth. Okay, that is a very powerful thing. There he is, Knight of Wands. I told you. And notice the Eight of Swords pops up next to Johnny Depp's card. Knight of Wands. This is about his 3rd, maybe 4th time. I'm not sure how many times I've done these reads now, but he always shows as the Knight of Wands for me. So I do feel the Knight of Cups is to show, a more loving how he is in relationships, the real way he is. And then of Knight of Wands, this seems to be, and I believe the Knight of Wands show for him, the creative side, his passionate side and everything, especially as an actor, and he may have some fire in his chart. I'm not sure. I can't remember if he has like a fire rising or something, but I noticed the Ace of Swords sits next to him, that, the truth to come out. This is a big thing. Oh, a card is sticking up. What's that? And then the Prince of Swords, which can be news communication, things that like that kind of popping up, definitely trying to express this, the rebuttal. Okay, so this fits very well. Okay, but yeah, that's very interesting. and the Ace of Cups pops up there. So yes, showing that love and that loving side, this is what they really want to do. Okay, this fits very well with the Nine of Cups and everything. Showing, a tenderhearted, loving type of side, which is more his nature. And seeing that the Ace of Cups is next to the Ace of Swords is very fitting. That this is an honest nature of him. So very interesting. But I love the Nine of Wands pops up again. If you check the other reads, he pretty much always is Nine of Wands for me. I know he is Gemini, but for whatever reason, Spirit likes Nine of Wands for him. Like I said, the creative, a definitely energy, being an actor. He's a character actor, and everything, and very passionate. You just see he oozes passion, charisma, lots of stuff. So let's kind of go ahead. But yeah, the moon, this really, a lot of that can be sometimes about deception and obscuring things, confusion. I feel this is a lot of what Amber Heard's team is really trying to do, is confuse. But I do feel with that, see that Five of Cups, the disappointment card, and they're disappointed in the way things are going on. Okay, so they're trying, let's confuse, kind of throw doubts in there. This absolutely right. If they could get one jury to doubt, any of, or I mean, what was I say? Or believe her and doubt Johnny. That's what I should say on the defamation. Yeah, but I feel they're pretty disappointed with the move that they made. That was like, oh, why'd you say that? And the failure card. This was, her stepping up with this is a failure. Okay, her mentioning this, like she failed on that. And so this is a big thing. So let's kind of see where it's leading here. Popping up and everything. And then we've got that Magician card, which can be symbolic for like, certain attorneys, but also like manifestation. So I would actually feel that the Magician in this case is Johnny Depp's attorney. This is where sometimes the Magician, just to clarify, in court cases can represent an attorney and so forth. That this, to make that magic and so forth. This is going to be a big thing. This is a powerful moment and so forth. Really stepping into power. The Strength card is popping up in there. Aha. Okay, so let's kind of go ahead and look. What do we got? So when I was focusing on Johnny Depp, how is it going to go with this going on? He gets a Chariot, okay? So we could be victorious with this when we come back to trial. And when we get this there, we've got the Nine of Swords popping up in there. The cruelty sits next to him. Okay, so really, and a lot of that, he has suffered cruelty, against him and so forth. And then he is being accused of cruelty. But we've got that victory card that he can overcome some of this, which is good. But yes, everything, of course, the Hangman right now, really no surprise, everything is kind of hung up. We're on, well, however many days, it may be 9 now. Everything is hung up till we get back to trial. Okay, so they're going to be kind of working on some stuff here. I'm still looking, there's that tower. And the tower was in the last read. This was a big mistake. And so right now, while everything is suspended, obviously her team is trying to figure out what to do here because they kind of know what's coming, right? And then his team is getting ready, okay? But I feel they're kind of being laying low here. You don't always want to show your hand. And then there's the Devil card, okay, in the hopes and fears. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so we do have the Hermit card in the outcome. So I feel everybody's going to kind of lay low with what's going on. So we got some quietude. But let me go ahead and focus. Come on, Spirit, give me. I do like the fact the victory card is in there. Some truth comes out, showing a kinder, gentler, more loving Johnny Depp. Okay, is going to be the aim goal. So a lot of that, and even with the Ace of Cups, can definitely point to relationships for me. Love relationships and pop it up here. Now, one of the things they also have to get, the courts to do this, with Two of Swords popping up in there. But yeah, even that Fool card, I would even say, this is kind of symbolic and representative. This was a little bit of a foolish move and so forth. Now, just so far, nothing, the Queen of the Pentacles has not popped up just yet, in this read. But let me go and assess so far. The Tower does, which was in that other read. And the Tower, I said her testimony would be a disaster. There was going to be something. Okay, and her testimony so far, there is disappointment. I feel, let me pull up as I'm talking, so I've got everything laid out, and failure. So this move here was not good, was not a good one. Okay, and there's a lot of other things, some of the stuff, the jury may be really questioning, certain things there, but trying to make Johnny Depp look cruel and stuff and everything, she maybe, I guess one of the things, maybe she's going too far in some of the stories and allegations. Maybe if she would have kept it simple, stupid with some stuff versus, going over the top with some of the stories about Johnny Depp, that's another thing. But bringing her in there, so far, I feel like they're being very quiet about stuff, with that kind of hermit card and everything kind of laying low. So things are going to be quiet for a while. But I do feel, let's go ahead and kind of look at some stuff here. Come on, Spirit, let's talk about it. But some truth coming out as I'm focusing on Kate Moss is popping up in there. Okay, and also talking about love, love interests and things. There she is. Ow! Yes, it looks like she's going to testify. The mature woman pops up once again. Very first card. And I told you, I'm excited. I love it. Because I was sitting there, come on, Spirit, where's the Queen of Pentacles? Where's something? I want to give me something interesting, something exciting. The mature woman pops up. So it does look like they're going to get Kate Moss to testify. Okay? Very first card of the Kipper. She shows up again, first card. Okay? And she showed up last time and stuff. So this fits very well. And Kate Moss, like I said, that's why I was like, let me look at her age. How old is she now? Because I feel like, wow, it's a throwback in time, things, and everything. But yeah, she's 48 years old. So she's mature now. She's an older woman now and everything, and the mature woman is still a beautiful woman and everything like that. You could kind of, if you really kind of fine-honed on the face, yeah, it could be like a model face. So the mature woman pops up. So yes, it does look like she's going to testify. Exciting. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Make it clear. Now I've got the card Great Fortune. Okay, so this is going to be, I feel, a very fortunate move and stuff, for Johnny. For Johnny, not for her. And so forth. And the Lover's card pops up. Yes. His former lover, Kate Moss, talking about that. And in between it is the Great Fortune card. That this could really be very helpful. And stuff. Now, the Community card also pops up. And, and everything, one of the things, that is a benefit, of course, with Johnny Depp is many people, coming together. I'm actually in a Johnny Depp group, and stuff, because, a lot of times they'll get you the good stuff and everything, but a lot of people just rallying together, coming together for him, which is there. And then we've also got the card Official Person. That's interesting. Now, I wonder if that makes me feel, if something like a law enforcement or somebody could like pop in the picture a little further down. If Spirit's given a preview of that. Now, we do also have the Child card popping up there. Now, I know one of the things, I'm not sure if one of his children would potentially testify, but if something comes up with that. But I do have, his children are a big factor why he wanted to go to court. Now, he has said that, especially with what they went there. And so forth. And then we've even got the Privileged Lady popping up, which is very interesting. So let me just kind of say, so there could be another woman popping up in there, that somebody is well-to-do. It's the Mature Woman popped up. Very first card. And that's what I was telling you guys. After kind of like sitting there and assessing it, I feel that's Kate Moss. I feel the Mature Woman in the last read was Kate Moss, very first card. Spirit's being very blunt. It looks like she's going to testify. Very exciting. Okay, so yeah, so I do feel Kate Moss is going to come in there, and this does seem to be, some of the Tower and the Failure. This is definitely, like if I heard someone and they've been testifying all this abuse, and the whole thing is defamation, and then she says something about, he threw Kate Moss down the stairs, and this is the one thing that's popping in my mind, and that's why I hit him, okay, and stuff, and then she's going to come up and talk about their relationship and how things were, and no, I've never been pushed downstairs. He never hit me. This is going to be powerful. So I'm excited for him. The Knight of Wands, which is his card, is popping up. Ace of Swords next to it. The Truth. Ace of Cups, the relationship, the connection, and so forth. And showing it kinder, gentler. a Knight of Cups loving kind of energy is really what his attorneys are going to want to do. But that is very interesting. The Hermit, I feel, of course, Johnny is, kind of laying low, and I feel they're going to be a little quiet about some things here. But this trying to, as she tries to make him crueler and crueler, I feel the reason in his position why he has the Chariot for victory, which can be very victorious, going forward, the divine's on his side. But the more she tries to make him look cruel, it may even be coming across unbelievable. Okay, to said jury and things like that. Some of these things, and see, the thing is, I watch, I haven't watched, I got to catch up on Judge Judy. I watch her on IMDb now. I'm real excited she's on streaming because I got rid of my cable, but I watch her for a long time. But one of the things is she, and who was she originally quoting? Oh God, you guys might be able to help me. But basically the saying she would always say in court is, if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. Okay, and I feel one of the things is, with her throwing out all this stuff, okay, it's when people do stuff like that, this stuff can bite you, and stuff. And see, that's the thing. When you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory and stuff. And it seems like Johnny Depp, he kind of talks about certain things, nothing, crazy outlandish, and stuff like that. I would have liked to see, him just saying in testimony, maybe open up a little more about having a problem. I know his sister really danced around the issue, but it is what it is, and stuff. Now, I know some of you kind of watching, watch my videos. Okay, watch. You got to pay attention to what I say. I know some of what I've talked about, his addiction. Like, she had an addiction too. Yes. Very first read, when I very first even begin, and I get to the second card, Seven of Cups, I do acknowledge she had an addiction too. But one thing I'm telling you guys is, I feel his is a little more severe. There is using it, and I'm sure she used it. I'm sure she probably got loaded. He bought her a lot of wine. There's a lot of stuff. Absolutely. She's done things that I've never, tried what is all this stuff she's trying? Absolutely. They're having mushrooms by a campfire in the wilderness with a trailer park or what, all these stories. Absolutely. So of course, I did mention they both had an addiction. But I do feel his is more, powerful. I guess is one of the best ways to put it. As far as, certain things and behavior and stuff like that. Some binging, he has a severe problem. And I hope he's working on that. Especially, I always get concerned if I hear about prescription and then alcohol, especially because my ex passed away of it at 49. Okay, mixing all that is so so I want to see him overcome it and everything so he can get better, definitely. And stuff. So watch my videos. Yes, I acknowledge that. I'm very well aware. But what I wanted you guys to do in the fact versus fiction, where I have a big long thing, is kind of look at, what made her this way. What's going on. And like I said, he married his mother. She married her father. Her father has an addiction. Okay, and I feel one of the things that's happening is getting angry, even sadistic in these moments when he's, say, drunk or high or various things falling down, stuff like that. When she's talking about certain things with addiction or the doctor coming in, various things like that. I felt there was some truth there because, even when somebody is throwing out all this stuff, there's always going to be little bits of truth in there. Okay, just always. There's always going to be a little bit of something here or there, and that's the one things you want to look at. And I do feel there's some areas she's been honest in that when it comes to addiction, not with abuse. So, okay, I do feel I feel she gets angry. I feel she gets sadistic, like, keeping the meds from him. He's going through this kind of, having withdrawals is horrible. Okay, to put someone through that, and I do believe he was telling the truth, that she's probably just doesn't want him to do anything, this, that, and it's a good way to torture him, and stuff, and the suffering, and stuff that he went through. It's a tough one. Looks like she's going to testify. So this is going to be, as far as the result of that, this does seem to be a big tower moment in the case. It's going to be a big blow. There's a failure, the disappointment. I feel even her own team is, what? Why did you say that? Why did you say that? What did you do? But when you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. okay, and stuff. And you know, inevitably, you know, certain things, you know, it's just like another saying, you know, those things that are done in the darkness that inevitably come into the light. So we'll have to check it out, you know, when everything goes. And I got to get some other videos, kind of what's going on. Certain things we need to kind of be aware of the world. But yeah, watch my video. Please check my video on the food thing. And there are some things coming out there, especially in about 6 months. Now, the funny thing, let me just throw this in. When I talk about the food shortage, when I did the read, I was saying to think about, I felt in 6 months, that's what's going to get some very serious stuff. So get your canned goods now before they go up to $2 a can or something. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what's going to go down, but that's what I'm doing. Anytime I do a food order, I'm starting to throw in cans, even if I don't need them. I'm just kind of throwing extra cans of, you know, green beans, corn, soups, stuff like that, you know, and then of course freeze what you can, you know, just because I feel it's going to get very crazy expensive, stuff like that. But I said 6 months, but later that night after I did the read, everything's up on YouTube. I was kind of falling asleep listening to some of these food people, you know, the foodies, the farmers, and there was a farmer. He said 6 months. And I went, whoa, he's saying 6 months, Spirit's saying 6 months. That's something to pay attention to. Okay, so that may be the magic number. So start kind of just putting, you know, throw a little, you know, even if you don't need canned goods, even if you don't, just start putting some soups, canned goods, maybe canned meat, you know, just whatever weird stuff, you know, maybe even get a couple cans of Spam, you know, because there's some things coming, you know, trying to save you money. The victory card was there. I don't feel it's a forever thing, but I feel a challenge and kind of a getting through a rough period. Okay, all right, check it out.